Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Dogs Bark, Cats Meow, Trolls Troll from Dandapani. So I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to get at here. I don't know if he's talking about the internet, as in well, internet of course. But I don't know if, or maybe more in life, like, I don't know, trolls in life. But anyways, he doesn't have too many more videos that are quite long. They're all very short, so but I still always want to include him because he does give good advice as well. So let's go and get started.
Hateful comments on the internet. What's the perspective to take on this? Well, the way I look at it is that if you post something on the internet and you set your settings to public, then you've invited the entire internet, the entire spectrum of humanity to comment on it. Now, the entire spectrum of humanity consists of, on one end of the spectrum, a highly evolved being, mature soul, and then on the other end of the spectrum, a not very evolved, low consciousness soul. Now, you can probably expect from the mature, evolved being a enlightened, a mature, encouraging, loving comment, and from the unevolved soul, probably a hateful comment, because that's where they are in their evolution and that's how they see things, and that's the comment they're going to leave. Dogs bark, cats meow. It's how it is. Don't expect a cat to bark and don't expect a dog to meow. So don't expect a being that is unevolved, not mature, of a lower consciousness to leave a loving, kind, encouraging comment.
Oh my god! Not what I was expecting at all.
Expect a hateful comment. So don't react to it. Understand where they're coming from, and that's the perspective that they have, and that's how they see things. So naturally, they would leave the comment that they do. And when you take this approach and when you have this understanding, it's easier to accept people for where they are in their evolution.
Whoa, I was not expecting that kind of comment from him. Uh, calling people low consciousness.
Of a lower consciousness to leave a that is not very.
Unevolved too. Holy smokes. Like, in my perspective, I would have said it this way. Now that I understand where it's coming from, yeah, you'll have people out there who are just generally kind and it's like what I like to think I am. Definitely not fully evolved, but generally, I don't usually leave thumbs down. I always tend to forget to give thumbs up. That's my problem. I forget to give thumbs up. If I don't necessarily agree with someone, I don't leave a thumbs down unless I very strongly disagree with the person. It's not because I hate the person, but I have a how do I say? It's a it's a very strong disagreement. But outside of that, just like a disagreement, I don't leave thumbs downs. I don't leave necessarily comments either, as much as I'd like to, honestly, just to try to have a discussion. So in terms of the helpful comment or the kind comment, I think that's great. I don't think they're necessarily fully evolved and enlightened beings. I mean, they're just nice human beings. And then the people who leave hateful comments, like there are people out there who are kind of potentially like what he's saying. They're just unevolved, I guess, low consciousness beings. But I think those people are very far and few in between. I think most people are just hurt or who are a bit harsh in nature. So there are people out there who will just leave if they disagree with you just a little bit, they'll leave a thumbs down. They don't necessarily leave a hateful comment or anything. They just disagree with you, which is to me it's a bit of acceptable. You disagree with someone. I don't know what the thumbs down is there for. It's like it's whatever however you interpret it. Some people see it as if you disagree with them a little bit, that's what the thumbs down's for. If you disagree with them a lot, that's what a thumbs down's for. Even if you completely disagree with them, the thumbs up is still there for you. I don't know. It's everyone's interpretation of what the thumbs up and thumbs down is for. A lot of people interpret it if you agree it's a thumbs up, disagree is a thumbs down, generally speaking. But I do fall into the line that I've noticed this myself, where if I disagree with one thing, especially if I won't say strongly disagree, but I have a strong disagreement too. I have the urge to leave a thumbs down. but I realize that I mostly agree with a lot of what the person says. So I just don't leave a thumbs up or thumbs down, even though I should I should I should remember to leave thumbs up more frequently, especially with videos that I agree with. Thumbs up if you agree with me. But anyways, it's a bit weird to, how do I say, um, and to me it's almost like bad talking to someone's like, oh, they're not evolved, they have low IQ, low consciousness. It's like that's almost I don't know. I don't know if an enlightened being would say that. It's like, again, I would say like what I'm trying to say now. I can't remember. I'm repeating myself, but there are people out there that are like that. Very few and far in between. There are people out there who are just hurt, who just thinks that if who is a little bit harsh, where they disagree with you a little bit, they don't quite. I don't know. They have this. I don't know. There's many minds out there like that. Self-centered mind. It's not necessarily that they're bad human beings. It's just that they're kind of locked into their mindset. It's not, and they can be easily. Hopefully, if someone can show them the right path, that not everything has to be so harsh. And I'm being so vague because it's kind of how do I say? There are a lot of people and a lot of minds out there who would leave a negative comment. It's not just people who are close minded. It's not just people who are hateful. It's not just people who are raging at that moment. There's many varieties of people out there who would leave a negative comment for whatever reason there could be. Maybe they don't like the look of your face, and they'll leave a negative comment saying they don't like the look of your face. But again, that's just like one of many things. I don't necessarily think they're bad, unevolved, low conscious people. It's just there are scenarios where I feel compassion to them, where like they're clearly not open minded, and life's gotta suck if you just hate everything. It's like, I just don't like that comment. I don't like what he said. I don't like the way his voice sounds right now. Especially right now, his voice sounds terrible. Thumbs down. Or hateful comment in the comment. And I generally feel a little bit of a sadness for them, because they kind of see life in more of a negative fashion versus a positive fashion. They lack understanding, and I try to understand why they're like that. So it's really weird to hear this coming from him, to just like they're low IQ. I know he didn't say that, but my mind for some odd reason heard that. Hold on.
The entire internet, the entire spectrum of humanity to comment on it. Now, the entire spectrum of humanity consists of, on one old being, mature soul, and then on the other end of the spectrum, a not very evolved, low consciousness soul. Now, you
Low consciousness. I guess I think of low IQ, I guess. But yeah, it's really weird for him to say that. Low consciousness. Man. Seems harsh, but I don't know how to explain that from him, from his perspective. But hopefully you can understand from my perspective. Um, Try not to take things too personally. That's the thing that I got to work on. I try to, and it is what it is. If people leave thumbs downs or negative comments, I try to. I have had negative comments and people talk bad about us, and I always joke around with that, and I always do turn it around a lot of times, where they see that I'm very, I guess, playful and kind, and they kind of realize that, and it's like, yeah, it just seems a bit harsh, and they kind of they don't retract what they say, which I appreciate that they leave the original comment to show kind of how they were, and then to change after the comment that I made. So, anyways, I guess I just don't have that perspective. Again, I'm not saying he's wrong. There are people out there probably with low consciousness, I guess. But you don't see these people too frequently. They exist, but I do believe a lot of people have hope and have a chance of change, of course. And maybe I guess I try I like to think of myself as a, what do you call it? Hold on. um, a realist, a positive realist, optimist realist, realist optimist. That's it. Realist optimist in that specific order, meaning I see things for what they really are, but in a bit of more optimistic perspective, versus someone who says is a realist pessimist, where they see things for what they are, but they look at it in a negative way. So, for example, imagine if you have a 50% chance of success. This would be a good way to kind of look at the realist, optimist, and realist, pessimist. A realist, optimist is, well, you have a 50% chance of success, whereas a pessimist, you have 50% chance of failure. So that's hopefully pretty clear what it means. Whereas a realist, like, you have 45% chance of success, like, you know, there's still a chance. That's still an optimist there. It's a very low chance, but there's still a chance though. 45%, you know, it's better than 44.5%. Being a bit too optimistic there, but you get the idea. So that's my reaction to dogs bark, cats meow, and trolls troll. I was not expecting Dandapani to say something like that. Um, Seems a bit harsh, but I don't know. I guess from my perspective. Anyways, if you like content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up the sound, and bell. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.